Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers, Jake and Charlotte's Barcelona reunion. Teen's encounter puts Valentin's freedom at risk. General Hospital, EHO spoilers reveal there could be a story-related reason why Jake Weber, Hudson West, is headed off to Spain. EHO fans know Jake got accepted into the Barcelona Academy of Art. But what if the writers want him there for a surprise reunion? Jake accepted Jason Morgan's, Steve Burton, offer to pay his way, so it looks like he'll move forward with his Barcelona art school plans soon enough. We can't help but notice this is happening right as Charlotte Cassadine, Scarlett Fernandez, is going on the run. Valentin Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart, forced Charlotte to bolt without warning, so she didn't get a chance to say goodbye to Jake or anyone else. That must sting for Charlotte, who had a budding romance going on with Jake at one point. Of course, no one knows where Valentin and Charlotte are now that they've made their joint escape. We can assume that Charlotte and Valentin will do some globetrotting as they try to stay under the radar. The goal is to avoid the FBI's detection, but what if Jake stumbles across Charlotte in Barcelona? That could bring a reunion that's both sweet and shocking for the teens. It's easy to imagine Charlotte and Jake's encounter playing out while Valentin is reading the newspaper at a nearby cafe or something along those lines. Once Jake wrapped his head around seeing Charlotte somewhere so unexpected, she might stress the importance of staying quiet. Charlotte could vent about Valentin's situation, at least as much as he's told her, and wish that things could be different. Since Charlotte has a rebellious streak and may be frustrated over Valentin's mess, could she try to convince Jake to run away with her? Just the two of them. That's one option to consider, but Jake might also pressure Charlotte to go against Valentin's wishes and come home to Port Charles. Laura Collins, Jeannie Francis, is already worried sick, so Jake might relay that news and insist Charlotte can't stay on the run forever. Perhaps Jake could even take matters into his own hands and betray Charlotte by alerting the authorities to Valentin's location. That's especially true if Jake discovers that Valentin's vanishing act made a bigger mess for Jason Morgan, Steve Burton. Regardless, the idea of a Jake and Charlotte reunion in Barcelona sounds fun, so stick with us for more predictions on that possibility. General Hospital spoilers say some surprises are in store no matter what, so we'll bring you more updates on Valentin's potential capture. The sun cast a golden glow over the Barcelona skyline, painting the city in hues of amber and rose as evening descended. Jake Weber stood at the edge of the bustling Plaza de Catalunya, his eyes scanning the throngs of people. The last few weeks had been a whirlwind, leading him from the familiar streets of Port Charles to this vibrant European city. His heart raced with anticipation. He was here for a reunion that carried more weight than any teenage meeting should. Jake, a familiar voice called, slicing through the ambient noise of street performers and chattering tourists. He turned to see Charlotte Cassadine waving enthusiastically, her blonde hair catching the light. They hadn't seen each other in over a year, but the connection was instant. With a shared history marked by familial turmoil and secrets, their bond was unbreakable. "Charlotte," Jake replied, weaving through the crowd to reach her. They embraced, a mixture of relief and excitement evident in their smiles. "It's so good to see you." "You too," Charlotte said, her eyes sparkling. "I've missed our adventures." Jake chuckled. "Barcelona seems like the perfect place for our next one." As they walked through the plaza, the conversation flowed easily. They reminisced about their childhood escapades and shared updates on their lives. But underlying the lighthearted chatter was the knowledge that their reunion had deeper implications, especially for Valentin Cassadine, Charlotte's father. "Have you heard from your dad?" Jake asked cautiously as they strolled along La Rambla, the famous tree-lined street. Charlotte's expression darkened slightly. "Not directly. I know he's here in Barcelona, though. My mom told me he's laying low. Something about business gone wrong. Jake nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. Valentin Cassadine was a man with many enemies and even more secrets. His freedom was precarious, and any wrong move could tip the scales against him. We have to be careful, Charlotte. Meeting here might not be safe. Charlotte's eyes narrowed with determination. I know, but I had to see you. And there's something else, something important I need to tell you. Jake's curiosity piqued, but before he could inquire further, a shadow fell over them. A tall, imposing figure stepped into their path. Valentin Cassadine himself, looking as enigmatic and composed as ever. Charlotte, Jake, he greeted them, his voice smooth yet laced with an undercurrent of tension. We need to talk. The three of them found a secluded corner in a nearby cafe, away from prying eyes and ears. Valentin's presence cast a heavy pall over the reunion, his demeanor reflecting the gravity of the situation. He looked at Jake, his gaze intense. I'm trusting you with something precious to me. Charlotte's safety. Can I count on you? Jake met his gaze unwaveringly. Of course, but what's going on, Mr. Cassadine? Valentin sighed, glancing around as if the walls themselves had ears. I've made powerful enemies, Jake. People who won't hesitate to use Charlotte to get to me. Being here, meeting like this, it's risky. But I had no choice. I need your help. Charlotte interjected, her voice firm. Dad, we can handle this. Jake and I aren't kids anymore. Valentin smiled faintly, a hint of pride in his eyes. I know, sweetheart. But this isn't a game. The people after me are dangerous. They've already tried to leverage my freedom against me. Jake's mind raced, trying to piece together the fragments of information. What do you need us to do? Valentin leaned in, his voice dropping to a whisper. There's a document, a key piece of evidence that can clear my name and expose the real culprits. It's hidden in a safe house here in Barcelona. I need you two to retrieve it. Charlotte's eyes widened. You want us to break into a safe house? Valentin shook his head. It's not as dramatic as it sounds. The house belongs to an old ally, someone who owed me a favor. The document is in a hidden compartment in the study. You can get in and out without drawing attention. Jake and Charlotte exchanged glances. This was bigger than anything they'd ever faced, but they were determined to help. We'll do it, Jake said resolutely. Valentin's relief was palpable. Thank you. I knew I could count on you. The plan was set. As night fell over Barcelona, Jake and Charlotte made their way to the safe house. The city, alive with nightlife, offered the perfect cover for their mission. They navigated the narrow streets, their hearts pounding with adrenaline. The safe house was an unassuming building in the Gothic Quarter, blending seamlessly with its historic surroundings. Jake picked the lock with surprising ease, a skill he picked up during less savory adventures back in Port Charles. They slipped inside, the air thick with tension. In the study, they found the hidden compartment just as Valentin had described. Inside was a single folder.